Pam, do you want to do a roll call? Please.
Sure. Councillor Jakutis,
Present.
Arthur Akers, Jackie Fitzhugh,
Present.
Betty Gonzalez. I seen Betty. She's on mute. That's all right. Mary Joyner,
Present.
John Oliday, Smitty's on mute. Jean Marie Minton. Debbie Craig.
Present.
Oh, I was on mute. Yes, I'm here.
That's okay. Yeah, we've seen you. Very good. And then Director Best.
All right.
I'm here.
So Director Best, I might as well just turn it over to you because you have the whole first half of the meeting usually anyways.
Okay. Well, I am glad to be here. I'll give you a little update. The Lynn Senior Center, the COA, continues to grow and be a beacon of light for Lynn seniors. A senior told me yesterday that what she felt most grateful for was the Senior Center. And honestly, that warmed my heart because it made me feel like we were truly meeting our mission statement, which is to make Lynn seniors feel welcome, safe, heard, and supported. She said that she felt that we were a consistent, safe, and fun place to be. And like that's what we want to be. You know, we want people to feel that. That's what we want to give our seniors. So that was really, really good for me to hear and good for me to be able to share with the staff at staff meeting yesterday. And I believe I shared this last month, but I'm really excited that it's up on the wall when you come in over our bulletin board. So we've had it put up there. So it is there on the wall permanently, our mission statement, so people can see that when they come in. And that's important. We continue to engage with our seniors and listen to their feedback and work their suggestions into our programming. Whether it's what restaurant should we go to, what casino, or what new activities or presentations they want, we listen to that and we work it into our programming. Someone recently said, hey, how about a suggestion box for someone who doesn't want to tell you, but they want to throw it in the box? So I'm like, okay. So we're working on creating one of those as well. So, you know, we're open to that feedback and we take it in and we put it into action. For the month of September, there was 11 new seniors who signed up at the center. So again, we keep rolling forward. I know last month we talked about the new JEDI technology program that the city of Lynn has offered, and we are utilizing that down at the senior center. The seniors love the program. They come, they make a ticket through their phones to say this is the issue, and then they come and they meet with the JEDI person and they get assistance on that. So we're looking at bringing them in more, and they are going to help us move forward on our next step with our digital literacy grant that we got from the Commonwealth. So we completed the piece for the Tech Goes Home program. We did a lot of that. So we're moving to our next step. And that is working with our low vision seniors. So for part of the tech grant, we got low vision computers, and they are going to help us set those up down in the workspace of the administrative area down at the other end of the center. And we're going to be starting to do those classes at the end of November once they finish the construction. And that's going to be really, really helpful for seniors with low vision. They're two very expensive but very much needed pieces of technology to help people with low vision. work with technology and stay in the loop. One of them is a reader machine where you basically take your book or piece of paper, you put it in, and it reads it to you, and they have this special kind of light to help people with low vision. So I think it's going to be really helpful, and the seniors are looking forward to that because we have several people down at the center with low vision, so we're excited about that. We're also in discussions with the digital people, which is the JEDI program, about having some kind of regular technology classes, not like the Tech Goes Home, but classes that teach different types of digital platforms like Word and Excel, concrete skills, not just how to turn on the computer and what is a mouse, but how to use those different platforms. So we continue to kind of move forward with that, and we're really excited again to be looking forward to starting this next step in our program for the digital literacy. And again, the next step is supporting the people with the low vision and moving forward. So we're excited about that, and that's our next step. Any questions or thoughts about that?
Yeah, thanks. I acknowledge I was a little late to the meeting. I was talking to one of my former senior clients who I still am in touch with in Illinois. Question about the tech. I recently, in my delivery of the newsletters to the neighborhood where I live, this last couple of weeks, I came across one of my neighbors who was a victim of a scam that showed up on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
How often do we have trainings on protecting ourselves from scam artists on the computer?
I think that since I've been in the center, we've only had one. So that is something that we're looking for. We have a little bit of money left in our technology grant for a tech teacher. So that can be something that we put on the agenda for the teacher, not just teaching the platforms, but teaching seniors to understand what is a scam, to like hover over those, the email address and to follow the links back and to help them determine what is legitimate and what is not legitimate. There's also a presentation that the FBI does for senior scams, so I can reach out to them about that as well.
I think
put that on the list.
You know, I mentioned it then to another senior later in the week, and sure enough, he had the same experience on his computer. So, and when my neighbor called Salem 5 or something, they said there's a huge uptick in this. So I think it's really important for us to, obviously with tech, really important, but to another point, to make sure that we have somebody coming in on a regular basis, maybe from the police department or FBI, talking about scams that are showing up.
Well, I can reach out to the Lynn Police as well. Yes, it is important. And AARP has some information about that as well. So those are some resources that we can check into to see if we can get folks down here for that. Important.
I see, Mary, do you have a question?
I do, yes. Good morning. In regards to the JEDI person, because I have a senior friend that's having problems just getting on his iPad. Now, you said you're going to try to have them come in more regular. When do they come in? Do they come in at all now? What days?
He comes in on Monday and Fridays at this point.
Okay. Is that all day?
It's just in the morning right now.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I'll let them know that. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
If I could do another follow up to the low vision issues. Diana, do you know Joe Thornton? You're on mute.
Okay, sorry. Is he from the Lions group?
No, he's on the he's part of the city's disability council. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He's another neighbor of ours and here in the Diamond District. And he was talking about getting some seniors to be able to sort of talk on behalf of the seniors who have, you know, different abilities, let's call it, rather than a disability, different abilities. And he's very open to, and looking for seniors who can give feedback on what they'd like to see the city do, you know, in the community. So he sent me a bunch of texts, and I thought, okay, I told him I would talk to you, Diana, but Megan, since you're talking about this, it may be something that we should have another conversation around, because you're gonna have direct access to people who have different abilities and could probably use some support, and he's looking for the people that you know. So
Okay.
I
would love to have a follow-up. I know that the mayor's just appointed 2 people to the Disability Commission, Jim LaMonica and Drew Russo. So absolutely, yeah, I would love to talk to you about that a little later.
Good. Okay.
All right, the floor is still yours. Anyone have any questions for Megan? Okay. No? The
All
floor-
right, I wanted to follow up from last week. John, you asked me about the distance from the building in case of a fire. I followed up with Lieutenant Gonzalez from the Lynn Fire Department. We are to evacuate our building in case of a fire alarm and go to the end of the parking lot, which would be 300 feet from our building. That's where the seniors would meet in case of a fire alarm. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome, sir. That's what I have.
All right, how about a financial report?
Okay. Financial. For the month of October, we spent $24,358.21 at the center from COA funds.
And that is, part of that is payroll.
That was not payroll. I did not break it down further. That was basically Operation Senior Center. That is transportation. That is the kitchen supplies and activities.
Okay. No, perfect. At least you gave us an idea of exactly. Maybe next meeting we can just
All
break
right.
it down a little bit
A little
better.
bit further,
so
okay.
Everybody kind of knows exactly what's being spent. And I completely understand it. Like you said, you have the kitchen, you have activities, you have the transportation. It
Yeah.
adds up very quickly.
It really does. The transportation is big. I'm trying to promote more utilization for the vehicles that we're renting to go to the casinos, because that is a pretty big expense. It's like $1,300. So I'm hoping that more people will go, because I was taken back that we were using these little school buses that weren't senior-friendly devices or senior-friendly transportation. But now that we're paying for these big buses, we're not filling them up.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to do a little bit more of promoting that to the larger city. We're saying that if seniors have adult friends that are over the age of 18, they can come with them as long as they're, paying for their transportation just to get those buses filled.
Now, Megan, I'm not sure if we still do it. I know in the past, when we were down on Silsby Street, and Pam, correct me if I'm wrong, we would have certain trips, and I know we had members from other senior centers, because back then we had the best field trips, I think. They would sign up. Could we do something like that? Would that help or no?
I think I'd be open to that. I'm going to reach out to, the city has I think it's a senior, I don't even, kind of like a senior nursing home off Ocean Street.
That's the senior Elderly home.
Thank you, senior elderly home. I'm going to reach out to them and see if they are interested in participating and going to the casino with us, because kind of like they're affiliated with the city, we are to see. But I'm really trying to promote more utilization of that. And we're opening it up to seniors' friends. So yes, we
Oh, that's a
will.
great idea. Great idea.
May I add? Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you. Whenever I am out in the senior buildings, I think that there is some confusion on how to sign up for trips. One, the senior center, and this is not a critique, but this is the process. You have to call. I mean, you're not allowed to call for the trips. And two, getting down there, you have to get to the senior center first and then do an evaluation to be able to ride in the van with Jose. So I think that maybe if there was some understanding of how they could get to those and to be able to sign up, I believe that there would be some more people interested on those trips.
All right. So I think that's twofold. The casino. Your hand. So the casino is the large buses, and so what my issue is there is we're not filling that up. And for that trip, for the casino, people need to come down and register for that, and they need to just pay their $10, and then they can go on that. But what you're talking about is in order to use the transportation for this for the COA, they need to come down and they need to be assessed to be safe on our transportation.
No, it's absolutely the same thing. I've got a person that lives at on Eastern Ave at Kings Beach. She wanted to go just on the casino trip. She had tried. Nope, you got to come down and sign up. And so she did that. She walked there from Kings Beach to the senior center, and then she signed up, and then so she called and said, hey, can I have a ride to the bus that morning? And they said, well, you have to come in for your evaluation. And so there was a miscommunication, and they're like, they were advised, well, can you take a taxi here for your evaluation? And she goes, well, if I'm going to take a taxi there, I'll just take a taxi in the morning to catch the bus for the casino. Why come down for an evaluation today if I'm going to and pay for the taxi? So I think if there was a better understanding of the process and how to maybe sign up for the big bus.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, without, maybe if it's the bus, maybe they could call for the big bus to sign up for. But all the other trips come in person whenever it's not as many seats. I don't know, but I think that's everywhere I go, there's gamblers in that age bracket. So I know that they would probably go with you.
Okay.
You have two questions. I know.
I see.
Yeah, Jacqueline's had her hand up for a while.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I'm concerned about the cost of the bus, and I'm wondering if you have enough seniors, if the casino would subsidize some of the costs for the bus to get there. I know my cousins in Florida, they do trips to casinos, and the casino subsidizes them to get there.
Yeah.
I never heard of that, but I guess I could look into it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a great idea.
Megan, just one quick question. I know when I'm out and about, Encore, I see they have a bus all the time. I see it going through the city up on Route 1. You ever checked out to see if there is a place that they pick up in the city of Lynn, or would they come to the senior center? Is it something we could maybe look into?
Okay. Explore. Absolutely.
Not to throw more stuff on your plate.
Okay.
I've seen the buses driving around, and they're the big Encore buses. So
Okay.
I wonder if they actually have pickup spots.
I could ask.
Smitty, I know you had a question.
Yeah, we gotta get these monthly flyers out to the senior housing. 'Cause they don't have no clue what's going on.
Well, did they
Like
sign up?
St. Stephen's Wall and St. Mary's.
It's
Have
my
they-
understanding that Tanya has Jose drop them off at the senior buildings. I can check with her and get back to you for the next meeting on what buildings they get dropped off at, because I don't know off the top of my head, but it is my understanding that she does have them dropped off at many of the senior buildings, so I can ask her.
Perfect, thank you.
I haven't seen any in my building.
Did somebody else have a question?
I put my digital hand up. Regarding transportation, that's always the biggest issue, right? I mean, it seems that is really the biggest issue for seniors in general. So the question is, because Lynn is so large, are there best practices in other large communities like Lynn, sort of like a Haverhill or Lowell or Worcester, places that are large like ours? How do they handle this, transportation for seniors, getting people from where they live to the senior center? I mean, or is it just...
I have not done a lot of research on that. I know a lot of other cities close to us have multiple vehicles. Salem, Peabody, Danvers, they have a lot of vehicles. And I know that public health is working on a grant to get us additional vehicles and drivers to help us with that transportation issue and to hopefully let us do more with our seniors, including maybe doing some grocery store runs and possibly even some medical appointments. So public health is supporting us and trying to sort that out.
Great, good.
They really are.
Does anybody have any other questions? No? All right. Megan, did you have anything else for us?
I have well, you want me to talk a little bit more in detail about the registration process now?
Sure, that would be great.
So the registration process starts the first of the month. So for November, it would start on Friday. And that is for the activities and the outings. So for the casino, seniors have to come down and they have to give their money for that. And for field trips. So if they're going to the restaurant, if they're going out to lunch, they need to give the $2 deposit for the transportation for that. Okay. Again, for the outside professional services, they pay that vendor directly. So the senior center is not holding money for the manicure, the barber. You pay that directly. But if a senior registers for a professional service and does not show up, they need to give a 48-hour notice. If they don't, the vendor wants to charge them half of the money for that scheduled service. So that is what the vendor is requesting.
Now, what do the seniors think about that? What happens, for instance, if somebody is sick? That's different than them just not showing up.
I struggle with that myself. I'm hearing you, Diane, because I know, like, if I make an appointment to go get a facial and I cancel it, it's one thing. Or if I just don't show up, I expect to get billed for it because I know that I've scheduled that. But it's different if all of a sudden I got up and my blood sugar's too high and I'm dizzy and I can't go out. That's completely different. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of struggling with that myself, to be honest with you.
And I get where the vendor's coming from. They're doing their services at a discount price for the seniors, but they're also taking time out of their busy schedule to do this. So that's a difficult one.
And I'll tell you, most people will say they're sick if they didn't come in, if you give them if you allow them a break.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. If that's what we have to do, it's what we have to do. There's not much we can do about it.
No.
We'll just have to say to the seniors, if you don't think you're feeling well and don't think you're going to make it, you are gonna have to pay half the price, so just be aware. I get there are emergencies and stuff like that, but I get it. Let's see how it works.
We are also going to start to utilize Lynn Tech for some services. So seniors would register here with the center, and then we put them all in the van, take them down, and get the services there. For
Nice,
some of the services.
Good.
So we're
nice.
going to see how that goes, because we want to really build that collaboration with the resource from the city. It's good for the seniors and it's good for the students. So
That's
Right.
awesome.
Good.
If they get services at Lynn Tech, can they go downstairs after and have lunch?
the Tiger's Den is pretty good.
Yes, it is.
Pretty good. I was there the other night.
Yeah.
Rotary meets there every Friday during the
Okay.
school year. It's the best.
All right.
Oh, I see a hand.
I was gonna suggest that for the services, maybe people could put down a $2 or $3 deposit when they make the appointment, and maybe the vendors would just accept that if the senior gets sick or they miss their appointment. Maybe you can make a deal with the vendor.
Well, the issue with that is that that's how we used to do it, and then the senior center was holding money, and then somebody didn't show up for that appointment, and then they wanted to roll it for the next appointment, or then they wanted to give it to a friend, and then it got really complicated. So we were trying not to have the senior center be responsible for that.
Right.
What about the vice versa?
Can you elaborate, Smitty?
Yes. I come in to get a haircut today and no show for Jonathan.
Well taken, because there are times when the vendors, people are scheduled, and then the vendors don't show up.
Right.
You are 100% correct.
Yep.
Oh, that's a interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's like if you have a dog, sometimes cancel on your own here. You do have the consideration if it's one person, the person unfortunately could have a family emergency or something could happen.
Well, the other thing is now that we're opening up the doors at Lynn Tech, there'll be more options for that kind of service than just that one day a month too.
Right. And with Lynn Tech, you have to make an appointment. So seniors would have to register. We'd have to take their numbers. We'd have to make the reservation down there. And then we would provide the transportation from the center. And people would simply have to wait until the whole cohort got everybody's need met. We wouldn't be going back and forth individually.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we have any other questions for Megan? No, Megan, I do want to say, did make me feel good when you said, when we started, senior said everything was consistent, fun, and it was a safe place to be. That's got to make you and your staff feel really well, because now the seniors, they feel safe, they're having fun, it's a place for them to go. You guys are doing a great job. Just hearing that made me feel like, wow, it's great. I think it's a great thing you guys are doing down there, especially during construction. You're still getting those breakfasts, those lunches out there. I don't know how you're doing it. I've shown up a few times, stepped back and went, I'm just staying out of the way. You guys have a routine down and it's pretty good. So I give you all the credit in the world for everything you've been doing down there, especially during construction. Speaking of construction, is Laura on or no?
She's supposed to be on. It's 10:30. I'm sure she'll be. Well, while we're waiting for her to come on, I just want to give a shout out to all the community support we got for Hispanic Heritage Month. We had a wonderful event. We had monumental donations, and I think that there will be thank you cards coming out very soon for those folks that helped us out with some pictures. So heads up, it's forthcoming. It was a wonderful event, and it was an outpouring of love from the community, and it felt really nice really nice at the center for that. We're very
I
appreciative.
never saw so much food. I was like, wow, that was great. That was a
So
great
nice.
event.
It's like that we were wrapped in those arms of love, and that's the way I want the center to feel. And I think that's where we are now. We're just like this nice, warm, happy family together.
While we're waiting for Laura to come on, because I think she had a meeting previous to this. How about, who's doing the Friends report? Debbie, are you doing that today?
Actually, I don't have a report.
Okay.
No, Joan hasn't, I've been seeing Joan, but she hasn't come up with a report yet, and we're
That's
going to be working on what to do.
All right. Well, Joan, if you're watching today, which I'm not sure if you are, we wish you the best and hope you're feeling better, and we miss you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's no problem. We have some new and old business. We'll skip the construction right now because we're hoping Laura is going to hop on. So our next one would be staff needs. What are the staff needs down there, Megan? I know it's a lot, but...
Okay, so we have really been struggling without a kitchen coordinator. So basically, it's really been Tanya, Barbara, and myself, and a little bit of our driver trying to hold the kitchen together with breakfast and lunch, and our amazing volunteers. We would not be able to do this without the help of our volunteers, and it has been a lot. Just trying to kind of manage those meals all day. It's a lot of work. So we've done another round of interviews for the kitchen coordinator, and it looks like we have a person that we're going to make an offer to. We have to go through the reference checks, and if the reference checks come back in the query, then we will have them come down and do a walkthrough of the building. Move forward, I hope.
Oh, great. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
So that would move forward, and of course we would always love to have another staff down here, especially knowing we're gonna be moving to the second floor. So if I could get another staff, that would be magnificent.
We can work on it. I can't guarantee anything.
Okay, well, it would be really helpful because I'm not going to be able to have a senior upstairs without a staff person up there.
Exactly.
Just because of the nature of this, because of safety.
Mm-hmm.
Even on our kitchen floor, like if you could have staff in the office, but there always needs to be a staff person out on the floor with the seniors. We can't just have everybody in there doing their administrative stuff. We have to break it down. And so that's something that we're working on, breaking down our scheduling into blocks of time so there's always staff fully present. Somebody in the front of the building, at the front desk, somebody out on the main floor. So just to have people strategically placed to make sure that there's always somebody available.
Okay.
That's what we're working on here. But
Okay.
yes, more staff would be great. All right, I see that Laura's here.
Oh, nice.
Hello.
Hi, Laura. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for coming to our meeting again today.
No worries.
So right now we're just looking for, how about some construction updates?
So I believe Megan's office will be ready in that cluster down at the end. So the conference room, the work area, and her office will be ready hopefully by the end of the week.
Wow.
Oh,
I have a question for you, and I know you came into this project, so it's not like you designed this whole thing. But when I was there last week, I was looking at the conference room at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked and went, we have a meeting, especially the Friends of the Council on Aging, they have more people than we have for our COA.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's not going to fit in with wheelchairs and walkers. It just seems very tight in there. And that was our issue when we first started. We were meeting at the other end of the building, and it was too small. Even for the COA, we couldn't, the wheelchairs and walkers were not fitting in that room with everybody. And if somebody had to get up, everyone had to move for that one person to get up. So,
I know the intention, Diana, was to have the COA meetings in that conference room space. The cafe at the other end of the building is much more opened up now and wider. That area will be, you could probably, I think the diagram shows 5 or 6 tables with 5 or 6 seats at each table.
okay. No, it's just, until it's done, it could be completely different. It could look different, but trying to visualize it, I'm like, we're not going to fit in this room for a private meeting. You're going to be on top of each other. And that was our big thing with this renovation, to have more space. Mm-hmm. And again, it's not you. I'm not saying it's you, but it could be different when it's completely done. But just have that fear when we go back in person, hopefully maybe next month. I don't think we're all going to fit in there.
Well, probably not 30 people in that conference room. That would be a tight fit. But I think that when the cafe opens up at the end of the month, at the end of November, you'll find that space will be a place where you could put 30 people comfortably. And even get a cup of coffee, probably.
And you would have to move everyone back there to out front, but we'll figure it out. But I was just looking at it, and like I said, just trying to visualize it. Maybe it's me, maybe it will be fine until it's completed. So
we're a few weeks, until the sort of the staircase area and then the cafe and then the kitchen are done. So they are not that far behind. We're already, I feel like we're already at November 1st. So it won't be long until those spaces are also available.
All right. Anybody else have?
Laura, I know, yes, I do. Laura, I know you and I spoke, and I was just wondering, is it possible the petition wall that went in Director Bess's old office, could we just take that down and make that space open again?
At this point, we'd be needing to find funds to do that because we'd be taking away money from for the project.
I'm all about finding funds. You give me what it costs and I'll find funds for you. I'm all about it.
We built to the plans that were approved, for the project. So,
no, like we said, it's not your fault. It's just like whenever you do home things, you do home renovations. You're like, oh, I could have fit a larger cabinet here or something like that. Mm-hmm. Now that we see it, and none of us that were there, and Chris isn't even here, that started these plans. It's that now that we see it and we know what the need is, I just wonder, how much would it cost to knock down that wall?
I would wait to knock down any walls, honestly, till you have all of the space and you can see what you have, rather than incur more cost at this point. See what the other end of the building is going to look like, see what the second floor will look like, figure out how those spaces, you'll work in those spaces, right? Mm-hmm. And then if you need to have renovation done, then, then think about it then.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for Laura? I feel like we just bombarded you, Laura. I'm sorry. It was just questions. I wasn't at the last meeting, and
I've been in meetings since 9:00 this morning, and I'm probably sitting in meetings till the end of the day. But that's okay.
Jean Marie, I think, has a question.
Yeah. So just a question. When do we anticipate all this work to be done so that we can consider changes?
So the end of November, we're hoping to have I just got a text message about bringing a toilet paper dispenser to my next meeting. They want to make sure it'll fit. The end of November is when we're targeting to have all of the work completed. The schedule may elongate, be extended just a little bit more. They're starting to hang sheetrock tomorrow around the staircase and in the cafe area and the salon area. So it looks like there's a lot of work, but it's going to come together rather fast, I believe, now that we, are to this point in the project. We are looking at the second floor and what we can do with that space. So, hopefully almost immediately starting construction up there for the phase 2 part. So there will be more space than you had before the renovation, in better use of the space, which was, I know that was a complete goal of yours. So to have more usable, better space for you. And I think once the 2 phases are done, you will have that space. I know it's kind of hard to see right now because you're living in a renovation area.
So,
John, I'm sorry, Megan. Go
so
ahead.
Laura, when you say the phase 1 will be finished, that means that we'll actively have a kitchen at the end of November as well, too, or just the administrative end?
So I think you will probably get your kitchen back. We're waiting to figure out the stove and the vent hood. Those are the 2, and I think I had mentioned those really early on, that those had the longest lead time for getting those installed. So they might give you your kitchen back, but it might not have a stove in it, or could have your old stove in it. And then we'll need to move you out for a couple of days to put the new stove and hood vent in, depending on how the timing works out in the next couple of weeks. So you will have a pretty close to functional space.
Okay. That will be we'll be very happy to have ice and a coffee maker that's in the wall again. That would be so huge here.
Yep. And get those refrigerators back in the kitchen where they belong.
Yes, absolutely.
John, did you have a question?
John has.
Yes, I have a question for Laura. I'm sorry, I just want to ask this question very quickly. The space that Diana is talking about, is it the same as the space that Pamela is talking about?
Yes.
Now, Laura, on top of your head, do you have the dimension of that space?
Of the cafe space?
Conference room, I think. I think
Oh,
he's talking about
conference
the conference room.
Yeah.
It's probably 25, maybe 20 by 15.
25 by 15?
Yeah.
And that if we are able, because I think it makes a lot of sense if you can build, if we can tear down the wall that Pamela is talking about to increase that, because I think the 15 feet area will be where that wall is. And if
So
that can be open.
Down that wall. So
Uh-huh.
so taking down a wall sounds simple, but we would have to redo the lighting, the ceiling system, and possibly the ductwork. So it's not just taking down the wall.
Okay.
Things are fastened to and go through the walls and are laid out for the spaces as they are now. So taking down a wall would be a bit more involved than just taking down the wall, and costly. And I really think that you should see all of your spaces before. It is really hard right now. You don't have that entire west end of the building, so you are short a lot of space that you used to have, and the spaces that you do have, you're having to use them differently than you would if you had the space. So I would encourage you to be a little bit patient until we finish this phase and you can get in there and see all that you've gained. And then when we have the second floor, you'll have more space, even more space than you have now. And we'll have at the end of November.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else have any questions for Laura? Because I know she does have another meeting to get to.
The toilet paper's for Pickering, by the way, Diana.
Well, that's a good thing. Let's see if it fits in there. All right, Laura, I want to thank you. I know we just all kind of bombarded you again. Like I said, I can't visualize it till it's completely done. Maybe there's a table and chairs in there, and then we can actually see what it looks like. It's just walking in there. I just walked in and went, oh, no way. But when the end project, maybe it'll be completely different. I'm not an architect. I'm not a carpenter, so I probably don't visualize what everyone else does. I just look and say, oh, is that going to fit? So
I think the space was envisioned as a conference room that would be used by the director for meetings the director would have, not for a COA meeting or a larger gathering.
all right.
the thought was that you had the cafe space, you would have space on the second floor. And then, of course, you always have the large gathering space if you wanted to have, you know, an 80+ person event that was open to everybody. So you have multiple spaces that you can have different size gatherings in, accommodate everybody so they don't feel like sardines.
And at the end, you never know, we could be meeting upstairs for all we know. There's an elevator, everyone can get up there. We'll wait and see. I'll have patience and see how it
It's and so we are closer. We're, you know, framing around that now. So it came in much quicker than expected. So that's why we were able to accelerate the schedule.
I do appreciate, and I'm sure everyone else does until we actually see it completed. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, staying. Don't forget that toilet paper holder for Pickering.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Yeah.
Bye.
Jay has a hand up.
Yeah, that was my thought when we were thinking about the spacing.
Okay.
That if you have an elevator that's working, we may possibly be able to go up on the second floor. And that room may be more feasible than the room downstairs.
Exactly.
As long as we put a certain amount of people at a time on the elevator.
Right. Oh, yeah, I'll walk up the stairs. I don't like elevators.
It's posted now. We don't recommend more than 5 go in the elevator at a time.
That's all right. Yeah, okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead, go walk to your
Thank
next.
you, Laura.
Bye.
Bye, Laura. Thank you.
Bye. Does anybody else have any questions that maybe we can try to answer? No?
Diana, is there a stairs to go upstairs if you don't want to get on the, see, I'll do
Yes.
stairs.
Yeah, so out back where that door has construction area, do not enter. There's a full staircase, the cafeteria,
good.
and the kitchen's going to be back there.
Great, thank you.
Yes. I will be honest on TV, say, yeah, I opened the door and peeked my head in to see what it looked like. So, it's a
Thank
big
you.
staircase, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Are we going to do tours of this space, you know, to brag about it?
Yeah, as soon as it's completed, I'm hoping to have our next, well, maybe not our next meeting. I'm not sure when it'll be completed, but have our meeting and do a tour down there. So as soon as
That'd be
it's
nice.
finished, I think maybe we'll do, I won't say a ribbon cut, maybe something on a ribbon cut, and we need to do something to say, this is our space, this is new and welcome, and come see what it looks like. I think we can put something together for that also.
And may I suggest maybe even a citywide like open house so that people who aren't members don't even know that there's a senior center, don't know what's been going on, but have something that may where other people will maybe bring their parents, their grandparents, whatever, just a real launch.
That's something, Megan, we can talk about, an open house type event, but without disrupting the senior center. We'll have to figure out how to do something like that without disruption to everyone, and as long as it's not on a bingo night. Jackie?
Is there anyone or is there any place that there is a study on the population growth of seniors for the city of Lynn?
Yes.
So that I was thinking about how the big dig happened and they studied it and everything, but by the time they finished it, it still didn't accommodate all the traffic and stuff. So I wonder if our seniors are, you know, they say our population is aging and we're having more seniors than any of the other populations. So I'm wondering, you know, even with the renovations and stuff at the senior center, if we're going to be able to accommodate most of the seniors in the city.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Like just to find out where the report is so I can look at it or whatever.
There is a report. They left it on my desk when I started here. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but the senior population in Lynn is growing, and it is expected to continue to grow. I can find the hard copy sometime for you and get it to you.
It's in the census. It's the most recent census, and it's public knowledge. I had to look it up recently for one of my certifications, and I just don't have it at hand. But yeah,
Up on the census for the city of Lynn? Our
The
population.
U.S. Census breaks it down according to states and then communities.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Mary Joyner?
And you know what comes to my mind? That's a good point that Jackie and Jean Marie are making. But you have to remember, seniors don't come down there every day. They don't come down there all week. So that would open it up for those who want to come the day that they're not there. I don't go every day. So that would be something to consider.
We have a mixed bag. We have people like MJ that might pop in a couple days a week, and we have another cohort that come every day. It's an interesting balance here at the center.
But whoever comes whatever day, they're always down for a party.
They're down for a
If
party.
we have an open house celebration, I think that we can figure that one out.
We'll be there.
Mhm.
Any other questions?
No, we just did so many things. I don't even know where we left off.
We did staff needs, then we did construction. The next thing is outreach proposals.
Thank you, Jean Marie.
I'm looking at I have two computers, so I'm looking at the agenda on my other computer.
All right, outreach proposals. This would be, Pam, you put this on here. Who was this?
Yeah, I've been talking with both Director Best and the members about outreach and letting people know and how maybe we can get the newsletter out prior to the first of the month to the folks that aren't able or don't come down to the senior center so they can sign up for some things ahead of time to let folks know what's going on and the process to participate. And the other thing would be, this kind of goes hand in hand, the volunteer opportunities, you know, and the staff needs. So we know that everybody down there, the staff is working very hard to, you know, just do the daily tasks that have to be done and things that come up with that. You know, there are, in most communities, there is a big network of volunteers that help at the senior center. And we are the Council on Aging, and that's something that we do as board members. How can we help the staff at the senior center and support them? So would love for Director Best to talk to her staff to see if there is something that, you know, maybe takes up quite a bit of time that the staff would be willing. You know, I will offer to help with the newsletter, you know, if that's helpful. I do it in my job. I do newsletters. So, you know, and then maybe we could get it out like a week early. We have people at the senior center that live in senior housing that could take it back with them. Stacks of newsletters to there. If we want, as the clerk of the COA board, we could have the resident service coordinators or the managers of the senior buildings or the Lynn seniors themselves send me an email and I can send out the newsletter to a list of people ahead of time. And Jean Marie, I spoke with in the mayor's office about your idea on the website. And Valerie in the mayor's office is the person to speak to about the website. And to organize something around that too, to get some more user-friendly and more prominent about activities that are happening for the senior center. So those are my ideas, is to utilize the people who currently use the senior center to help with getting information out, one. Two, what can talents, skill set does your COA board that could be utilized more to help the senior center staff? And two, how can we recruit more volunteers to help? I know.
if I can just step in, because this whole time we've had this meeting, I went to the website, to the city website, because I do remember saying that, and I did talk to Valerie about this at a tree planting, Liberty, somewhere over the summer, and I was unvarnished feedback, and I am really happy to say that the website, the city website, is remarkably easier to navigate now. Like, I haven't been on for a while. Like, I have to say, I'm shocked at the changes that have been implemented right now, and how easy it is to get information. So whatever you said, Pam, like, hats off to you, because it's really good.
Yeah.
The next thing is, you're absolutely right that I didn't even think about, like, you need volunteers. Then like Pam, I do a newsletter in my neighborhood. 650 newsletters go out, and then people get it electronically. Use us to get you the people that you need, especially on a volunteer basis. That never occurred to me, Pam. Because I think there are a lot of people, like, you're targeting people who are living in the senior buildings, but there are a great number of people, seniors, who live in their own homes, their own condos, right? And they would probably be very interested in being able to devote time, volunteer hours.
Miss Megan.
Yes, sir.
Regarding what Pam said with volunteers, she mentioned that they need a recruit. I've already spoken to 2 people. I'm gonna email you directly and give you their name. And then their names and their phone number, so that you can reach out to them and let them know what area of volunteering that you would want them to, what task that you would like them to handle.
Okay. Barbara is handling our volunteers. I think that's great, because we do need additional
Director
volunteers.
Best, just one moment. Director Best, I'm trying to take notes. Smitty, can you go on mute, please? You're not bad now, but it was. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Director Best. Sorry about that.
So we do need volunteers, and right now, Barbara, who is the support specialist, she's going to be responsible for our volunteers. We're kind of taking that out of Tanya's wheelbarrow, because she has so much other responsibilities, and we're giving that to Barbara. So you can give that information to me. I will pass it along to her. We need volunteers to help with a barrage of things here. They can help with bingo. They can help with some planning. They can go on field trips with the seniors. Those sorts of things. Volunteers do need to be query cleared, and we have some volunteers that are abatement volunteers that come through the city, and they get a discount on their real estate taxes, I believe. So we have 2 types of volunteers: some that are using the abatement system, and some that just want to come in and be helpful, and they have some time, and they have maybe a special skill set that they want to share. And so they can come and do that as well. So we are looking for volunteers. I really like the idea of using private networks, not just the Senior Center newsletter, to reach out to volunteers and bring different people in. I know that the Friends of the Council on Aging are looking for some volunteers to kind of help grow their body. And so that might be another way to utilize those services to bring new people in to support the Friends. So I really like those ideas, and I think we could work collectively to support them. Yeah, that would be great.
Does anybody have anything else? Because we basically did sign up events and volunteers, the outreach. Anybody have anything else on the agenda they would like to discuss, or any questions? No?
Just one thing I forgot on the agenda, Madam Chair, is our upcoming meetings, November, December. Believe it, I guess I didn't realize this is October already. Historically, we do not meet in traditional ways, but with the construction and everything going on and this full agenda, probably should find a time.
Well, why don't we discuss it? We'll keep our meeting. Oh, actually, our meeting for this November would be, no.
It's after Thanksgiving, so I think we're okay.
Okay, we'll keep that meeting and then we'll discuss the next meeting, what we'll do. I know we don't usually meet in December.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, no, it's
No,
not.
it's the
Not
day
after
before.
Thanksgiving.
No,
Right.
November. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
The week before Thanksgiving.
So if we do it, what, the 4th?
It would be the 27th, November 27th, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
No, that's the day before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is November 28th this year.
Yes,
Right.
yes, I mean that,
Right.
yes.
Right.
So if we can, if everyone decides that's too much for them and they can't hop onto a Zoom meeting that day, we understand, just let us know in advance. We either cancel it or do it, maybe.
I can let you know right now that I won't be around. I won't be there.
You'll be home cooking?
Yeah.
I will not be able to make it either that day.
What about the first Wednesday in December, December 4th?
I'll still be away. I won't be here then. So just to let you know, book it whenever you want, but
Yeah.
those two I can't make.
How about, what about the week before? If we, oh no, you can't, that's, mass senior action, forget it. All right, you know what? We'll discuss it. We'll put out, an email with some dates that people are available. If not, we may have to miss November and try to do one in December.
Mhm.
Does that work for everybody? Well, December, no.
Yeah,
'cause it's all on
December
Christmas
4th
Day.
will be fine. The December 4th looks great though.
Yeah, that would be Christmas Day.
December
What
4th.
about-
What,
We'll get an email going.
yeah, I'll send out, how, December 11th, the second Wednesday.
See how that works for everybody. And
I think
I'll
that's.
send that out, and when I send the email, you can click on the date, and that will RSVP you.
okay,
Okay,
perfect.
sounds good.
All right, everybody, it's been a great meeting. We got some
Has
great
been.
updates and look forward to seeing everybody in December. So, well, I'll be down the senior center here and there, but happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Yes, the same to you. Yeah.
Don't eat too much, but we will meet again in December and everybody enjoy the rest of your day. It's supposed to be beautiful outside.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Very
right.
good meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
everyone.
Megan.
So do we have a motion to adjourn? Do
Oh, yes. I, Mary E. Join and make a motion that we adjourn this
we have a
meeting.
second?
I, Deb Craig, second it.
Thank you. Everyone have a great day now.
Okay,
Thank you, you too.
bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.